Christmas Eve, December 24th. I'm Geraldine, and I am filming videos this month for Flossmas, so daily updates on all of my stitching and Advent things. So I am stitching the Evertote Modern Folk Embroidery Roxy Floss Co. Holiday Countdown Sal, and also just finished up the Imagine Landscapes Gnome Knit Along. We did get an update today that was a little bit more of the story, but we have officially finished knitting. So I'm gonna insert the video of my daily stitching and knitting update. Good morning. It is 6 a.m. on December 24th. I was up till about midnight last night stitching, not on my clue. I finished that earlier in the day. And then I was awake at about 5 dreaming of stitching my Christmas project, which I'll show you in a second. So between that and being excited to see what's next, because we are in our last little section, our last 2 days of our countdown, I told myself I would lay there for a while trying to go back to sleep. It didn't happen, so I'm sure I will have a nap at some point today, but for now it's coffee and stitching. So here's my progress from yesterday. I added the Tenenbaum and the Cool to Yule, this lavendery color. It's really pretty. So here's a close-up, kind of where we are so far. Let's open day 24. Here's my envelope. Just gotta peek and make sure. There we go. And here comes the pattern. Oh, and here's the floss. It's like a dark black blue. Deep Dive is what it's called. Let's see if it's gonna come in well. Yeah, that's fun. I like this color. After 25 days, all of these symbols are mushing together here. So Figgy Pudding is coming back. Let's see, Figgy Pudding. Here we go. Figgy Pudding is going to be our next band border. So these like solid bands of stitching. That will be Figgy Pudding. I'm noticing too, I'm totally squirreling, but like look at the variegation in the Pine and Dandy here. I think the purple really kind of highlights that. So anyways, okay. So Figgy Pudding will go here and at the bottom. And then Deep Dive will go in with like giant X's that go across the band, repeat across the band. So those are 2 colors that will go, those are fun together. And then we will see what tomorrow brings. So it says, today we're celebrating the penultimate part of this holiday countdown, and we're doing so with a song. You can find it on my YouTube channel at Modern Folk Embroidery. And then there's a fun little picture on this one. All right. I'm excited. I really like this color. It reminds me a lot of Salty Place. I think I have Salty Place handy, actually. I have been messing around / dreaming about Turkish Delight, which is Carrie's conversion, Roxy Floss Co's conversion of the Rosewood Manor chart. It's one of my like immediate radars. It will get started. It will get started in the next few weeks, I think. I've actually been looking at seeing if it's worth converting the chart to like literally like plugging in the symbols into Wind Stitch so that I can have it on Pattern Keeper. Carrie recommended that she wished she had it in Pattern Keeper because there's enough like confetti of symbols that you know, stop a thread and then you realize that, you know, 2 or 3 stitches over there, but that color was still there. So I don't know, it's taking quite a while to get it plugged in. So I don't know what I'll end up doing, but they're really close. And I love Salty Place, so that is fun. All right, so what other than the countdown Sal has kept me up? I started Hibernation Day by Heartstring Samplery yesterday. Technically, I started Thursday for just a little bit of stitches, but it wasn't like a true start. I just kind of got, sorry about the camera. I just kind of got going on it, so I'm just trying to find something to bring it a little closer to you. So here is what I have so far. So I finished the first 2 bottom borders. They went fairly quickly. I was sort of not nervous, but like really paying attention to this vine. And then I realized it's actually a really simple repeat. So that helped kind of, I still watched the chart closely, but it kind of helped knowing where I was going. So yeah, I love, this is Asparagus, Legendary, and then this is Merlot, and I love the subtle like red variegation. So my next stop, I one, don't want to take the time to chart out initials. I don't know what date to put in yet, so I think I'm going to just count up and start the basket. And then I think what I might actually want to do is start the basket, do like this basket, get some words in, get a tree or 2 in. Basically, I want to move up to get the houses outlined, because I like to have like chunky stitching of just fill in when I want to work on something, but I don't want to pay attention to the chart. So I might kind of work my way up to the houses to start getting them outlined, and then I'll have some chunk. But like even something like this band right here that's repetitive, once you learn the pattern, like that would be, I'm trying to decide. Carrie said on Instagram, she messaged me on Instagram last night, and she's going to help me. I'm going to send her a picture of my selvage. It seems super tiny. My label that came with my cut was, it could be 40 count and it could be 46 count. So this is what my label looked like. So is that a 0 or a 6? I ordered 40. It's okay. Like, I'm not gonna stop and wait for new linen, and I mean, I'm fine stitching on 46. I was just planning on 40. So it's not gonna change anything. It just seems pretty tiny. But then when I compare it to my countdown Sal stitches, I'm not sure, because this is 40 count of the same linen, Panettone. Just, I'm sure, a different dye lot. I'm sure there's ways to tell. I could count. This is what I'll send Carrie a picture of this morning. She messaged me. It was after 1, I'm pretty sure, so she's not going to be awake anytime soon, I hope. But that's what my selvage looks like, and that's what other 40 count selvage from Leo and Roxy from the uses Zweigart base. I tried looking online last night because I know that you can tell from the selvage what count you have, but I could not find that information. So Carrie will tell me for sure, and I will let you know. But either way, I'm loving the stitch. I actually, I don't know what it was last night, but I was able to stitch this without my light, my big light. I was just able to use the living room lights, and then I have like a floor lamp that's just like a normal decorative floor lamp. And that was enough light for me yesterday. I don't know if it's, I don't know, but yeah, so I'm super excited about this, and I want to get back to it. So this is a bendy flip, I think, from Bags Plus. They have an Etsy shop. These are meant to be for bobbins. And when I thought that they would be a little bit bigger and would work for the cards to go this way. They don't, clearly, but that's okay. So they're nice. They got this like clear on the front, so if you had a really tiny project, you could shove it in here, or store your scissors or something in here. But it works really well because especially for a pattern that I only have a few colors for, to just pop my colors with the I kind of intermixed how I, put it back on my card. But put it, with the, where you pull the linen with your, pull the thread with your needle up. I just put them in there like that. And I can get at them easily and pull the linen, and it keeps them relatively neat because I don't have a ton of colors. I do have, more floss for this pattern than what I have in here. Caroline wasn't 100% sure on numbers for some of the colors and how much I would need, so I sort of rushed her at the open house. She knew she had settled on her colors. She hadn't done the math yet based on the number of stitches, so she was actually like texting Beth Twist and pulling up her email from Beth with the number of stitches of each color, and then doing some quick math for over one. And so we grabbed a couple extras just in case, so I had the right color from the same lot numbers. So yeah, I'm gonna go make some coffee. Well, no, I'm not. I'm gonna show you my gnome first. Got my gnome put together yesterday. Here he is. He's got his little beard, his scarf, his hair is a little crazy, and his bag's a little short. I don't know if it's because the strap is too short, or if he's just a little plumper than the model, but here he is with one of the hats on. The one that I thought I would like the least is kind of what I settled on for him, at least for now. And then we have the other two hats, so I guess I can show you. I like this hat too. Again, I like it. It's just not, all the individual pieces and parts came out okay. I don't know if they fit the shape. I don't know what happened, but it's still fun. He looks very kind of all curved, like you would look after being outside in the cold, like it is out right now in my neck of the woods. So so there's that hat, and then I like the tassels on this hat. They're fun. I think this hat, if I would have known what I was knitting, I would probably not have chosen the gray. I know she was probably just trying to switch up the colors, but I don't love that it's the same color as this beard. It kind of makes that all blend in. So anyways, it's still good, and I love this bottom piece. So that's my Nomi. I still have to get his picture up on the Ravelry thread for prizes, but okay, now it's time for coffee and then some stitching and maybe a nap later. I do have a little bit of baking. I have some coffee cake that I want to make for Christmas morning. That was something that my mom often made for us on Christmas. It's from the old, I'll just take a picture of it and put it in. It's from the old school orangey red Betty Crocker cookbook, and it's the candy cane coffee cake. So it's like a sour cream based pastry dough that you make with yeast, and then you make like cinnamon apples with some cherries mixed in, and then you roll it out and you cut the edges, and then you like braid it and pull it over the apples, and then you form it into a candy cane shape. The recipe makes a ton, and so I'll probably be having it. I have done that in the past as well. And I wanted to make cinnamon rolls too, and so instead of making traditional cinnamon roll bread, I think I'm gonna have it and then make one for tomorrow morning and one for New Year's Day, which will need to be bigger because we're having guests over. And then if I have extra, I'll make cinnamon rolls out of the extra dough, and I think they'll be tasty. They'll be a little bit different consistency, but like a little like firmer and chewier, which is not a bad thing in my book. So I will, if I can, I'll take you along for some of that too today. Okay, till a little bit later. All right, so it's about mid-afternoon, and I was able to get the candy cane and cinnamon rolls made. I'll insert some pictures, and yeah, we have decided, it was a little bit up in the air based on how everyone was feeling in the roads. We've decided we can make the trek just a few blocks away. We have close friends that live in the neighborhood that we traditionally spend a few hours together on Christmas Eve. Most years we've had dinner together. So we're gonna take the lasagna that I made yesterday over and open presents and hang out while we bake the lasagna, have dinner, and then come home. And then our Christmas tradition of Christmas pajamas, opening those, putting them on and watching. I think we'll probably watch The Grinch, at least one of either the oldest cartoon or the new cartoon. We might have time for both. Yeah, that's our day. I also filmed a quick video this morning of me showing my hand and lock case, my bigger one, and kind of how I've organized it thus far and what I keep in it. I found it really handy to have like one specific place for all the things that I can move around the house or eventually take out with me when I go to a retreat or those kinds of things. So I hope you enjoy that. And okay, I've been promising a hand and lock walkthrough. When I was looking at whether or not I wanted a case, I saw some videos of people who purchased them, but not necessarily like how they've used them. So this is my hand and lock, the bigger case. I do have the smaller one. I have found that I don't use the smaller one, the long skinny one, as much, at least not yet. I thought I would use it to hold my glasses, and that kind of works, but not great. So still figuring that part out. But when I wanted to order, Hobby House was out of them, just out of stock. I ended up ordering straight from Hand and Lock. They came very quickly. I think I had them in exactly a week from when I ordered them. They even DHL delivered on a Sunday, which surprised me. The cost of purchasing them straight from England with shipping was a little bit cheaper than purchasing it from Hobby House. My cases were a little bit more expensive because I spent the extra money to have Hand and Lock hand stamp them for me. I was worried that when I took them to retreats and stuff that they might get confused with others, and I thought if I was going to spend the money on something nice, I would put my initials on it. And I don't believe that was an option through Hobby House. So another reason why I wanted to order straight from the company. It is a vegan leather case. It's very nice. It's padded underneath or over top of, the whatever sturdy structure it's made out of. It's very well made. The zipper zips and unzips beautifully. The bottom is pretty straightforward. And so this is how I currently have it organized. So the top has these little like tool holders. I originally had just my cheap Amazon seam ripper, and then I found my Seam Fix, which has this like rubber end on it to help pick up the extra stray threads. They both fit nicely in here. I have my little mini snips from Kohana, and then I was recently actually able to snag a pair of the holiday limited edition Kohana embroidery snips from a seller on Etsy, Kingsland Needle Art. I think they sell out of Florida. So these are what my holiday ones look like with the blue and gold tassel, and it came with that little Christmas tree pin cushion with the star on the top of the tree is an actual pin with like a wood, a little handmade wood star, which is actually, it's really cool. You can tell that they glued the tiny pieces of wood together. They're made out of different colors to give the star some more character. So anyways, that is the top of my lid. On the bottom here, I have a stylus pen that works with my tablet that I just keep in here. I have a needle minder. I don't use needle minders on my projects because I sew in hand, and they get a little heavy when I'm not using a frame. In this first pocket, I have my seam, my corner square, and that's all that I have in that first pocket. I just noticed this. I had not seen that before. The little tag inside the... Okay, so that's in that first pocket, nice magnetic closure. And then in this pocket, I've been storing all of my orts. So at the end of the night, the pile that's by my stitchy chair gets shoved in here, and then eventually this will go in my ort jar, but it's just a handy place to keep them. On the back of this little topper insert thing, I have a seam. This is a little loose for this particular use, but it works for now. I have my seam gauge. There's room for other tools here. I maybe could put, where did it go? My pencil through here. I also keep my Sharpie pen, my Sharpie fine point pen here on this corner. So when I put this pencil in there, I don't know, it makes it stand up a little bit more. I don't know how well that will work. There is a little bit of give, in the seams here, but not a ton. So I kind of like it squirreled away in this corner where there's space. So there is a little tab here to help pick this up. I don't usually have trouble just grabbing it and going like that. So that is that piece. And if you needed more space, it could come out as well. I almost exclusively use these Sullivan ball tip needles. They are my favorite for stitching in hand because you can kind of use it to kind of count your threads. So I have all the package. This is probably a little excessive. I don't actually need to have these in here in separate cases, but for now I have extra backup needles of all the different sizes. I am going to start a piece in the new year that is using Soie d'Alger silk. So if you have used these needles with the 28 count is what I'm sure I'm going to need to use, or not 28 count, the size 28 needles. If you've used these ball tip needles with a silk or with specifically Soie d'Alger before, let me know. I think most people use a beading needle. The thought of that tiny eye and then also the pokier needle is a little, I really love my Sullivan. So I'm hoping I'm going to at least try my 28. Let me know if you have stitched with these Sullivan 28s on silk and what your experience has been. So this front quarter compartment has another snap. This is really nice so that it can adjust and slide. It will actually come off if you want it to. And then on the back here is a little area for your needles that also has snaps that come undone. So I have currently another seam ripper squirreled away. I have my, is it Bigfoot Designs? Something like that. This is a counting pins, but it's 2 hooked together with some braided DMC and a bead, so that you can mark one spot and then count and then switch them over. So if you're counting a long ways, like every 10, you can stop and put a needle in and then use the next one to keep going, so that you kind of, if you do lose count, you don't have to go all the way back to the beginning. So I find those handy for extensive counting, so I like having them close by. And then I just have some, I think these, I don't remember where these came from. These are just like standard, I think the DMC or the John James embroidery needles. And then another needle minder. This one is from Caterpillar Cross Stitch. The other needle minder that I had, this Huga one, is, I don't know if they still have the needle minder kits. This was from the Jacob Huga sets from Evertote that came out. I don't know when they initially came out. I bought mine last winter. It is the sets that came with Moonshine Cabin. And then there is, I just made a spot for headsets in case I needed a set of headsets nearby, like if I'm watching YouTube and I need to use a headset instead of, or an audiobook. And then I have not an embroidery needle, but my knitting darning needle in that pocket. There is a little Velcro strip here that's meant for a pin cushion, and I have that in the next compartment squirreled away. Just try to put this back quick. A little bit more difficult one-handed. Okay. And then this next bigger compartment has the same mechanism. Nothing on the back. And then I have, just because I didn't have a place for it, this is the bag that came with my Kohana mini snips. It's just a little suede bag, and it's got like a nice piece of leather on the inside, on the bottom. This would be fun to like open up and set out to maybe to collect your orts on the table at a retreat or something. I just have it in here for lack of a better place at the moment. Here's the pin cushion I was talking about. I just wanted that other compartment for my headphones, and they wouldn't have fit in there. I have some Thread Heaven. I don't even know, is this like not made anymore? Do I remember that correctly? Someone saying that it's maybe not made anymore. I've had this a long time. And then this Bee Bar lotion is really nice by Honey House Naturals. I ordered this from Hobby House, and I have 2. This is the smaller 0.6 ounce bar. Instead of ordering one big one, I ordered 2 small ones so that it would fit in places like this. This lip balm, this is actually homemade. My mother-in-law makes these and puts essential oils in herself for us. So we keep these in the freezer until we're ready to use them, until we're ready to open a new one, because it keeps them from the oils from going rancid, because they don't have preservatives in them. Anyways, and then 2 different styles of beading needles for when I need a beading needle. These ones are, I haven't tried these ones yet. These are the Beadalon collapsible eye, so they're super easy to thread, but the reviews say that they're pretty hard to, or they're easy to break the eye, just because of how they're made. So I just wanted to try those out. So yeah, that's about how big the size of this pocket is. Most of the time what I'm grabbing is, the main compartment, or not the main, but this top area. But I do like kind of having everything at my fingertips for the most part. I just want to get this back together so I can show you kind of. Okay. So it's all back together. Like I said, I usually have a Sharpie sitting here. I don't know where it is at the moment. I probably set it down and then it walked away. So I close the lid up. This is a medium size Evertote tote. I've got my Hibernation Day project in there, and I thought I'd show you, actually I've never even done this, how it might go in a bag if you were going to take it with you. So this is really meant like to get me to the point where I am not keeping supplies in all of my project bags, but just having one. So I don't know that I would put it in a project bag. I would probably put my project bags in another bag with this as well. But it does fit in here with everything else, including my little accessories pouch. So most of the bags from Evertote do come with a little mini accessories pouch. Since I don't keep my scissors and stuff in my bags anymore, I've been using them to store my linen card. So I remember what I used. Sometimes I keep extra needles in here. That old habits die hard. And then my extra flosses that I haven't I haven't cut yet because I don't know that I'll for sure need them or not. I'm pretty conservative with my thread. I don't even know why, but anyways, so yeah, that's how I use my little cases. It just kind of keeps the inside of the bag a little cleaner since I don't need to keep my scissors and stuff in there. I hope this was helpful for you. Maybe you have a little Christmas bunny, or you received one for Christmas and you were kind of wondering how you might use it. That is how I'm using mine currently. I hope you are well. I hope you are staying warm. We didn't get as much snow as they predicted we would get in that first big storm that came through Thursday night into Friday. But we have had pretty steady lake effect snow and also still blowing. So we've got some decent sized drifts. My husband's been out once yesterday and once today. We think that the neighborhood roads are maybe passable if we can get from the driveway to like the middle of the road where all the cars have been driving. We have not ventured out yet, but we're going to give it a try tonight and take a shovel with us just in case. And like I said, it's blocks that we need to go. It's not far at all. Yeah, I hope that you're all well. If you celebrate Christmas, Merry Christmas. I will be back tomorrow with one more daily update and opening the big manila envelope for the countdown sal. I am done with the stitching for that. It was a little bit more stitching than we've had, I feel like, in recent days. It probably took me closer to 2 hours. It was just a decent amount of stitches. It wasn't hard. The pattern was pretty easy to follow. Once I got going, I didn't even really have to reference the pattern anymore. It was just a lot of stitching, but I love the colors, and I'm really excited to see the last clue and kind of whatever's in that manila envelope and the last color floss too. So stay tuned for tomorrow for that. We don't have big plans tomorrow. We're gonna get up, have breakfast, open presents in the morning, and then just chill. And so I plan on spending quite a bit of time stitching. I don't have to cook or anything. We're just gonna have hors d'oeuvres throughout the day as our food. And just kind of have a chill Christmas. So I hope you're well, and I will see you tomorrow.